You're good at predictions, but did you have the Phillies in the World Series and Noah Syndergaard starting this game? If so, you're pretty good. Let's go. I remember 7 years ago, first pitch over the head of Alcides Escobar. What can we expect? Good morning.
Lauren, good morning. It's a great memory by you. Of course, that was also a Game 3 of the World Series. In fact, 7 years and 1 day ago was Syndergaard's last start in a World Series. That was Game 3 at Citi Field. At that point in time, the Mets were down 0-2. Now it is all square, 1-1, and it's certainly the start of a lifetime for Syndergaard now in a Phillies uniform. The key thing, Lauren, tonight's going to be length and how deep in the game Syndergaard's going to be able to go. He has not thrown more than 35 pitches in a postseason appearance. His only other start in a postseason round here this year in 2022 was against the Braves there a couple series ago. But it sounds as though, given where the series has progressed, given the rest that he's had, Syndergaard was saying yesterday he can go as long as he is needed. Rob Thompson has said probably somewhere in the 3 to 4 inning range. You see what he's done here game by game in the postseason. But you can certainly tell, and I know Dusty Baker talked about this as well, Syndergaard might not be throwing 99, 100 every time out like he was earlier in his time with the Mets, but he is a smarter pitcher, and he's able to manage innings better. Certainly it's going to be a challenge, a lot of right-left balance from the standpoint of the Astros lineup, but this is going to be a fun matchup to watch tonight, and it would not surprise me at all, Lauren, if Syndergaard finds a way to be more efficient and to take the Phillies deeper into the game than a lot of analysts might expect.
You said he's a smarter pitcher. We talked to some of the analysts here on MLB Network, and they say, I didn't know who I was until I was 28 years old as a pitcher. So to your point, we will see how that turns out. You said the question is length. Same goes for Cristian, Javier, and Ranger Suarez. I mean, we just saw Bob Nightingale's tweet about the rotation. I guess the question is, how long will we see them?
You know, Lauren, I think that's going to be the pivotal question for Game 4 and the balance of the series. No matter what, it's going to be a crucial game tomorrow night, and that's going to be the starting pitching matchup there. Ranger Suarez for the Phillies and Cristian Javier for the Astros. I love this conversation because when you look at these two pitchers, they can be used in parallel for the rest of the series, which means we saw Bob's tweet. Perhaps we'll see Javier in the bullpen in a Game 7. Could we see Suarez as early as a Game 6 out of the bullpen? It was a great breakdown by D-Row talking about how Rob Thompson was able to be so aggressive in Game 1 with Alvarado because he knew that he had Suarez for later in the game. We saw Suarez closing out the NLCS. This is the Patrick Corbin role, if you recall from a few World Series ago.
Yes, I do.
Yep, of course, where your Game 3 or Game 4 starter can be a sort of a deluxe reliever as well. And we've seen Javier be dynamic in a relief role, not just this year, but in the past as well. He basically, I think, helped turn around that Game 1 of the division series because Dusty went to him when the Astros were trailing, and of course he comes back and is now a starter against the Yankees in the ALCS and now in the World Series as well. So I think, to me, the resiliency of these two arms, Suarez for the Phillies and Javier for the Astros, is going to be a dynamic storyline to watch during the course of the series. And I love their matching up in Game 4. This is a classic case of tournament baseball. D-Row, the manager of our country, knows this very, very well for the WBC time, how you can mix and match and have a guy be a starter, be a reliever. I love that these two pitchers are very team-first guys who don't seem to care. Start, relieve, doesn't matter. I want to get big outs for my team late in the game. I think Javier's stuff is some of the best on this Houston staff. The Yankees had no answer for him. You see it there in that start at Yankee Stadium. So I love the way that these two starters are becoming starters/relievers, the X factors for each team here in this World Series.